Hello everyone and welcome to a new reading. I'm going to be doing a reading for Yangyang this time. My brain seems a little bit scrambled or all over the place for some reason. Anyway, in this individual reading, we're going to check his current energy, his career, his love life, and any healing messages that come through. And the first thing that I want to mention is that he seems to be very happy and filled with lots and lots of energy, because all of a sudden I feel very hype, energetic, very happy as well. And also I wanted to point out that there's a lot of purple in his reading, so maybe he likes purple or maybe he likes green. I don't know why green came to my mind, but that's a thing. Anyway, let's start off his reading with his current energy. So how is Yangyang currently doing? Also, we have the happy tarot, so that's another sign that he's pretty happy. Now we have the 8 of Cups upright, the 7 of Cups upright, and the 10 of Cups reversed. Okay. So, first things first, there's a lot of cups in his energy, so that is a lot of emotions, a lot of water, which cups talks about emotions, spirituality, creativity, and I do feel that in this case we're gonna get a lot into his subconscious. I didn't mention it earlier, but purple is the color for the third eye and the crown chakra, that are chakras that do talk a little bit more about spirituality, intuition, and all of those things that are not in the physical realm. So seeing all the water cards that he got here, or all the cups that he got right here, kind of shows that maybe he is pretty intuitive or very aware of that side of himself, of his subconscious. So let's start with the 8 of Cups first. So with the 8 of Cups, it definitely feels that he's very happy because he left something behind that was not satisfying him. What I mean by that is that it's not necessarily that he left something behind because it didn't work out or it wasn't necessarily fruitful or anything, because his cups are filled up, right? This is more of the energy where he was aware, like, this is a great opportunity and everything, but it's not what I'm looking for. So he walked away before, instead of lying to himself, being like, it's a good opportunity, I should go ahead and take it. Seems like right now he is being very loyal to himself, very loyal to his heart. And because of that, if he felt that it was not the right opportunity, or it was not the right people, or the right project or whatever, he walked away from it. And he's aware that by walking away from it, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's gotten rid of whatever obstacles and challenges that come ahead of him. He is aware, as you see, this character is walking towards this mountain, right? He is aware that there's still challenges and experiences that will be difficult for him along the road, and he's not afraid of encountering those, because he is staying loyal to his heart and he's doing what he wants. And it's not coming off from a rebellious side of himself or anything. Like, he's not doing this to spite anyone. He's doing this because he just wants to do what he wants to do and live his life as honestly and as genuinely he can for himself, if that makes sense. Also, with the 8 of Cups, we see the moon right here in the corner, which is supposed to symbolize that he is following his intuition, he's following his gut instinct, he is listening to that soft voice within his head that is kind of guiding him down the path that will be the best for him. And in this case, the best will be whatever it is that he's looking for, or whatever it is that he needs to learn. That's the path that he's going for right now. And I do feel like he's being very loyal to that path, or he's being pretty optimistic about where it could get him. Now, the other card that we have right here for his current energy is the 7 of Cups. So with this 7 of Cups, we see this little girl looking at this like vending machine or this display that is showing all of these other cups, and there's a cat. And there's a cat, like I pointed out, like it was a big deal. So I do feel like he has a companion, or he has someone that he can trust. It could be a pet, or it could just be someone that he relies on emotionally. I feel someone that he can express how he feels, or he has someone very close to him, or someone that he feels is very loyal, that he can in a way communicate in such a way that it cleanses and heals his soul. So he has someone he trusts. That's what I'm getting at. Also, with the 7 of Cups, we're talking about opportunities, we're talking about options, a lot of options. Some are good, some are bad, and they have all been displayed in front of him. So I do feel that he was able to walk away from a situation that didn't satisfy him, because he's aware that there's other paths out there for him, there's other options for him that can make him happier. But I do feel that seeing how these cups have, some of them have snakes, some of them have treasure in it, I do feel that he is aware that just because there's a lot of options, it doesn't mean that all of them are the right ones for him. He is aware that some of those options are not going to satisfy him like previously, the ones that he walked away from, but he is also aware that by taking different paths, he might be able to experience even greater and more beautiful opportunities, paths, and experiences, right? Like, he's aware that just going down a different path brings him new opportunities of encountering other experiences. Now, the last thing for his current energy, we have the 10 of Cups reversed. So when I first saw this, I got a little bit sad. I was like, oh no, not the 10 of Cups. Because usually when it's upright, it talks about a happily ever after, happy ending. It usually shows a family, you know. Actually, here we have two families, a family of humans and a bird family. And it's 10 cups. And usually it shows like a little rainbow to show a sense of like a blessing or a smile from the heavens or something along those lines, right? It's supposed to be a very good card. But for him, being reversed, now that I see the other cards that came out for him and the interpretation that kind of came through for him, I actually don't feel that bad that this card is reversed. So if it was reversed, I would have felt that he hasn't encountered his happy ending. But again, he seems to be in such a good state right now that he is not bummed out that things are not working out, or he's not upset of not having this happy ending. He kind of feels like he's very patient, and it also feels like he's aware that he will eventually make his dreams come true, and he will eventually get that happy ending that he's aiming for. So with it being reversed, it feels like he hasn't quite yet reached his that happiness or desire or whatever goal. Like, this is a long-term goal. Whatever long-term goal he hasn't reached it. But I also feel that he hasn't given up on it, and he feels pretty optimistic about reaching it one day. So seeing the 7 of Cups right here in the middle kind of shows that he's looking at his options and the different paths that will help him reach that long-term goal that he has in mind. So I'm telling you, it definitely doesn't feel bad at all with the other cards that he got. Definitely feels like he's optimistic. He hasn't reached the end of his journey, or he just hasn't achieved that goal that he may have in mind, but he is in such a good place that I wouldn't be surprised that he will eventually get there. But let's see what's going on with his career right now. Oh, we have frustration and rejection. Well, okay, that's rough. Okay, what's going on with Jen's career? Push through any insecurity. I want one more. And release your blocks. Okay, let's see. So for Jen's career, we have frustration and rejection. Then we have first quarter moon in Cancer with push through any insecurity, and we have first quarter moon in Scorpio with release your blocks, which that is a lot more water energy. So for his career, with a frustration and rejection card, it feels like there has been a lot of projects that just haven't panned out for him as much as he would have liked. Also, we have orange and what looks to be a little bit of, I don't know if frustration is, I think it's red. So we have red and orange, which tells me that there is this thing that in his physical life, so in the 3D realm, within his career, things are not really working out the way that he wishes it would. So with the Ets, I am getting this whole idea of rejection. It's God's protection, which I do feel that if things are not panning out, is for a reason. It's because it's not meant for him, or it's because those projects will not benefit him in any way, shape, or form, or it will take out a lot of energy and time that could be used for something better. I am not 100% sure what that could be, but I do feel that if things are not panning out the way that he would like to, it's for a reason. It's either not the right project, it's either not the right people, or it's not the right time. So something is off, and because of that, life doesn't even present those opportunities for him. And what I mean is, like, if something is not meant to work for him because it's not to the level that will satisfy him, or it's not to the level that will benefit him as a learning experience, or as a stepping stone towards something else in his life, I do feel that life prefers to push that away from him completely instead of making him go through the unnecessary, I guess, trying to make sure that he doesn't waste his energy on things that are not gonna benefit him. So this energy is pretty close to the Eight of Cups. It's just that he may not be always rejecting these opportunities. I do feel that sometimes life makes it just not work sometimes, and that could be a bit frustrating, because I do feel that he could be in this period in his life where it's like, okay, I see how all of these things are not working for my career, then what will work, right? I do feel like he's reaching a point in his life where he's like, I understand that this might not be for me, I understand that this might not be ideal for me, then what is, right? And I do feel that if he doesn't see more options coming through, he could be getting a little bit frustrated that nothing's panning out. No. Just push through any insecurity and release your blocks. It definitely feels that the blockers that he has is insecurity. So I do feel that these two cards are just going hand in hand, basically. So there is a sense of his insecurity is getting in the way of his inner peace, his inner stability, and his inner sense of home. What else? With release your blocks, it definitely feels like he has to definitely not, how should I put it? All that rejection or things not panning out is something that he should not blame himself for, and therefore he should just let that go. That feeling of, I guess it could be anger, or the feeling of failure, or some feeling, like whatever he feels that is getting in the way of these things to pan out. Life is trying to tell him, don't take it personal and don't take it to heart. Be able to allow that energy to kind of just flow. I think he needs to, look, he does need to learn that if things don't work out, it's for a reason. But I also don't blame him for feeling annoyed or frustrated that things just don't work out for whatever reason. Like, I do feel that it's a very valid response to be like, okay, well, I am this very trusting individual. I trust in the process. I trust in the divine out there. I am aware that it exists and it's out there. Then why is it that nothing's working out? Right? I do feel that it's very valid. Anyway, so with the Cancer and Scorpio energy, I do feel that he may have clamped up in his career, and he kind of has to break free from that. Cancer and Scorpios are both signs that are very good at putting up walls to protect themselves, and it takes a while for them to open up to other people. So I do feel that this black cat that symbolizes someone that he relies on and that feels is very loyal to him, that person sees this soft, watery inside from him, this sensitive side, this pure side, this side of him that feels pain, sadness, and anger, frustration. Like, there's people out there that see that side from him because he opens up to them. But I do feel that he kind of needs to put his wall down a little bit to allow the opportunities out there to see him, if that makes sense. He doesn't necessarily be full and vulnerable to these opportunities, but kind of show that he's human and that it does hurt him that things don't work out. I don't know how that could help, but that seems to be the advice somehow. So any more messages for Yangyang's career? Okay, so we have the Tower, and then we have the Queen. Yeah, the Queen of Cups. I have to make sure it wasn't the King. So with the Queen of Cups, we have more Scorpio energy. And with the Tower card, we have Mars energy. The signs that go with Mars could be Aries or Scorpio as well. I'm mentioning it because of how much we have in here. So I kind of chuckled a little bit with the Tower card because it kind of just confirms again this angering frustration that he has because of how much rejection and how things are just not working out in his career. Now the Tower card is supposed to show how someone has an epiphany. This lightning striking the top of the tower talks about an epiphany. And it's supposed to like spark an idea that just destroys something that doesn't work. And with the Tower card, we're talking about the tower is built on this foundation that if it's not stable enough, or if it's not of substance, it's going to break. So this new idea has sparked an opportunity or an epiphany within him that has no room for unnecessary energy to be present. So what I mean is that if things are not working out for him, again, it's a blessing in disguise. It is like a divine detour of sorts. It happened, like, I understand why he's annoyed about it, and I understand why it could be very hard to understand, especially if it happens over and over and over. but it is for a reason, and that reason is to make sure that he gets rid of any baggage or unnecessary energy that gets in the way of his blessings and his learning experience. So this Tower card is supposed to show how if something tumbles down, is so like that there's room to build up again from a stronger foundation. And a stronger foundation is one that is more stable, one that is made by someone that understands themselves and the situation that they're in, and is able to make room to create and build upon it something better that goes in alignment or in accordance to the new person that he is and is trying to become as well. So when we pair that up with the Queen of Cups, even though it's reversed, I do feel that it being reversed kind of shows that he is working towards this energy of being more accepting, being more understanding, and being a little bit more in tune with his heart. Being able to acknowledge the sadness within him, the pain within him, and the anger within him. And instead of seeing it as a burden, being able to understand it in such a way that he is able to heal from it. Being able to express it, allow it to flow, and then being able to center himself again. Because he was able to, I guess, acknowledge and validate those emotions. I do feel that that's something he's working on right now. Being able to not ignore his emotions, but actually honor them. That's the idea here. So this Queen of Cups, it's reversed because that's what he's working on. Being able to be more, because he definitely has the intuition, he definitely has the charm and the beauty that the Queen of Cups represents, but he is working on honoring his emotions. That's the main thing here. Now let's jump onto the next section of his life, which is his love life. So what's going on with his love life? Also on the bottom of the deck was the card Flow. So he just kind of needs to go with the flow with his career. So what's going on with Yangyang's love life? 2 cards came out. Perfect. We have Ghost and Happiness. I saw Ghost and I was like, he has no game. But then I saw Happiness and I was like, but wait a minute. I guess he's happy. I don't know. Let's see. Give me more info. What's going on with Yangyang's love life? We have last quarter moon in Scorpio. Again, another Scorpio card with a reveal what needs to be seen. Give me one more. I'm kind of curious. I said one more and a bunch came up. I'm going to take the bottom of this chunk. And then we have new moon in Pisces with attuned to the divine. Okay. So for his love life, I saw the Ghost card and I just thought it was so funny because I was like, as I mentioned earlier, he has no game, and I was gonna joke and make fun of him for that, but then when I saw the Happiness card, I was like, well, never mind, that brings him happiness. I cannot tease him about it. Anyway, so we have a white card and an orange card, which kind of shows that he's working on healing himself. He's trying to have this clean canvas of sorts and a new beginning in his love life. And that is bringing him a lot of happiness. It's bringing him, I do feel that the solitude he has been in has been very healing for him. And it has definitely helped him to be more in tune with himself. And that in exchange has made it easier for him to be very connected to his intuition, into the divine, the universe, and all of this higher power type of energy. So with the last quarter moon in Scorpio, it tells me that he's one of the things that he's about to end in his life, or one thing, something that a chapter that he's closing in his love life is this thing, which is reveal what needs to be seen. So I do feel that he has been doing some shadow work. So yeah, with him, it definitely feels to be about self-love. So he has been doing a lot of shadow work. He has been looking within the walls that he has built around him. He has surrounded himself with silence in order to be connected to his self, to his mind, and to his environment, which has helped him to do the shadow work necessary to acknowledge and honor himself. And it has also really helped him be more in peace within himself. So what I was talking about here with the first quarter moon in Cancer, he has done a very good job at doing that within himself. And now he's also working on transitioning that energy and those skills and those tools to work in his career. Now what I mean is that he's finding he's finding it easier to identify how he feels, what that means, what that looks like, and how to go about it. Because he's finally acknowledging those emotions, he's finally acknowledging the side of himself that maybe he pushed down, or maybe a side of himself that he ghosted before, but now he's like putting more attention to it, and instead of seeing it as something bad or something wrong, he's been able to give it the love necessary to nourish it and to nurture it, if that makes sense. What I mean by nurturing is that now he's able to, he doesn't feel ashamed for feeling the way that he does. He doesn't feel he doesn't put unnecessary stress and burdens and responsibilities on himself. He has become lighter because he doesn't carry this weight or this overthinking to hold him back. The other card that we have right here is a new moon in Pisces, another water sign. Again, a lot of water for him. So he has been working on his feelings for quite a while, and it has been pretty successful because he seems pretty happy in his current energy. And I mean, he has the happiness card right here. So with the attuned to the divine and with the new moon, it definitely feels that the new chapter that he's entering in his life is one filled with compassion, is one filled with love and care, because Pisces is a very empathetic sign. It's a sign that really loves for loving. It's a sign that is very dreamy. Is a sign that is pretty in tuned and follows our intuition very well. And in this case, I do feel like he has found a lot of inner peace, and he has been able to, again, as I mentioned earlier, with the silence around him, he has connected to himself, and that in exchange has given him enough stable and grounding energy that now it's easier for him to connect to the divine. And to the divine, I mean like that higher power. Now, I don't know how aware he is of his third eye and his crown chakra and all of those things, but he definitely feels like he is aware, acknowledges, or to an extent, he understands that there's a higher power working with him. And again, with a higher power, I mean like those things that feel like destiny and fate, things that are outside of his power in the physical, like this is what I can do to go from point A to point B. It's more as in like he's living his normal day life, and then things kind of just settle down into place. That's the type of energy I'm talking about here with the higher power. Now let's see. Last things to say for Yangyang's love life. Yeah, these are good. So we have two Aquarius energies right here. So we have the Star, which is Aquarius energy, and then we have the Queen of Swords, which is also Aquarius energy. But they talk about different things. So the Star talks about a dream come true, talks about a guiding light or a guiding star. It talks about finding enough balance of sorts to be able to make your dreams come true. So I do feel like he has found that balance of knowing how much work he has to do to reach the spot where destiny can help him, right? So it's kind of like if he needs the skills to, if he wants a job or something or a project, he gets the skills, and then when while he's working on that, he will eventually reach a point where his skills are good enough that life will be able to bring in these opportunities that he can fully take advantage of because he already did the work. That's what I'm getting at here. That's an example, but it could also be relating to something in his life anyway. And also, the other Aquarius energy that we have right here with the Queen of Swords is someone that has very clear judgment, is very aware of how they think, is very eloquent, and is very good at articulating what they feel. Okay, not what they feel, but what they're thinking. So they have clear judgment to be able to discern, like, what is good, what is bad, what is it that they want, what is it that they desired, how is it that they can communicate all of these thoughts to someone else. So he's been working a lot on his communication of within himself, but also communication with other people, and being able to express how he feels to other people. Maybe not directly, because again, he seems a little bit closed off in the sense of he has his walls up, and he doesn't really, unless he really trusts other people, he doesn't really like to show other people how he feels when he's feeling those emotions. He prefers to talk about them. And this Queen of Swords kind of shows that he's very good at just speaking his mind and saying what he thinks, and being able to express communicate how he felt. But again, he's very guarded. He doesn't really like to just be open and vulnerable to everyone. He just has a selective few that he feels comfortable doing that with, which is pretty normal. There's nothing wrong with that. And also with this, and we have the Sun at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, definitely dreams come true, being super optimistic, very positive, being able to also say, this is what I want, this is what I desire. He's, how should I put it, what is the word, conviction, is that maybe the word? Being able to really, to with no hesitation say, this is what I want, something along those lines. I don't really know what the word will be for that, but he seems to really be decided, and that has brought him a lot of confidence and a lot of happiness, because now he's dealing with no one's bullshit, not even his own. So yeah, so let's go on to the last section of his reading, which is his healing messages. We have the Coyote Spirit with trust in divine detours, which is basically what I was talking about in his career. To just trust that if something doesn't work out, it's for a reason, and it's to protect him from unnecessary stress or unnecessary people or situations that he could avoid, because he doesn't have to experience that to know that it's not okay. So divine detours, that has to do with his career. It's like if something smells fishy, life is like, don't even go that way. It's not worth it. You already know that you don't have to deal with these people, so why even bother? The other two cards that we have is the Crow Spirit with Co-Create with Spirit. So that's something that he was already learning in his love life, and that is the example I gave where like working on his skills will allow him to, as he works on his skills, as the action that he can physically take, and then life will bring him the opportunities that he can fully take advantage of, because now he has the skills that he has worked on. So that's kind of what I mean with Co-Create with Spirit. Life really wants to work with him and help him out, and he kind of is aware of that higher power, so that's one step closer to co-creating with Spirit. Now the other thing is kind of just doing his own thing, but also going with the flow. So if things don't work out, it's kind of, walk it off. Don't let, I just also noticed this is 16 and that's 17, so it's kind of like, so step 1, trust in divine detours. So if something doesn't work out, it's for a reason, accept it, let it go, right? And like, he doesn't have to take it personally. Then the second step, which is in this case step 17, will be the Crow Spirit with Co-Create with Spirit, which is kind of telling him, okay, so if things didn't work out, what can he do? What can he focus on? And how can he work with Spirit, right? So I do feel that maybe he needs to work on creating a communication channel with Spirit, or with whatever higher power he believes in that brings him love and healing. So like that he's able to understand the situations that he's in, or being able to have continuous faith that things will work out. But also with the Crow Spirit, I do feel that there's this sense of having no fear of the unknown, being able to understand the mystery of life is just going to stay mysterious, and also being able to, in a way, blindly trust that things will work out anyway, regardless of how things may seem at first. Which I know it's very hard. Also with the Crow Spirit, I do feel that maybe there's this sense of a lot of creativity going through that he will eventually be able to get in tuned with or touch upon as he continues going deeper with his own emotions and connecting with Spirit as well. The last card that we have right here is the Wombat Spirit reverse with Be at Home. So I do feel that one of the things that he may be working on currently is just feeling more comfortable within himself, being more comfortable within his own skin and his own situations and his own thoughts and ideas and emotions. And I do feel that this card is just reversed because he's just naturally growing up. He's naturally just going through what we all go through, which is getting to know ourselves better, getting to know our situation, the role that we play in life, and all of those things. I mean, he's still pretty young and he's just transitioning into adulthood. And I do feel that Be at Home card reverse kind of shows that he's just getting in tune with his inner self and just growing up, basically. So I'll leave that there. I hope you guys liked this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was actually very refreshing to read because he seems to be in a very good spot. Like, yeah, his career is a bit difficult for him, but he seems to stay pretty optimistic about it. I mean, look at this happy kid in the sun energy right here, the sun card. It's very nice. Anyway, I'll leave that there. I hope you liked it. I'll see you on the next one, wherever that is, however that is. And love and healing from my part to you. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.